Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and welcome to the So You Want to Be an Imagineer Inside Baseball Show. The show where I talk shit from the field, from the dugouts, before going to play on the fields. Can't get those catchphrases down tonight, can I? Well, anyways, as you guys can see, I'm wearing blue for the occasion. Oh yes, I'm wearing blue for the occasion. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. I did it. Oh yeah, Adventure Blue Dude is gone. I said the fuckers got to go, and then he went. All right, no. In all seriousness, this is not something I took lightly. I said that in the thread. But alas, what can you do? So basically, I don't really have a lot of time with this video, so I'm really going to spend most of it talking about the implications of strategic game, the pros and cons of having it, because it seems to definitely be a hot topic conversation and something really worth getting into moving forward. So with that in mind, I just want to quickly just go over the creative element of the project, because, oh my god, we had a creative element of this project. Too new. Just too new. Wow, just astounding, right? But yeah, the creative element of this project was, of course, the Muppets. A project near and dear to my and probably many other people's hearts. Now, with the Muppets, okay, let me just, the one thing I have to say about the way that Man-Eating Wreath critiqued this project was, yeah, he definitely did some nitpicky things, because I didn't really think, I mean, really one of your big points is not having, like, some obscure freaking monster characters. We're not trying to be hipster, Mew. I'm sorry, I mean, I'm a hipster myself, but, you know, we're not trying to dig deep into the wells of obscurity with this one. I just want to very quickly point out a couple things I missed. Most importantly, I totally forgot to include Poogie from the Muppets movie, the Muppets equivalent of Miss Piggy. She was going to have a meet and greet in Fantasyland where she was going to be a princess and she was going to be posing as Miss Piggy. And I thought that was just a really hilarious idea. I'm very sad I forgot to include that. Now, in terms of the barbershop duo, I feel like, I mean, actually, I'm sorry. In the project, it kind of got lost in translation because it ended up actually being a barbershop quartet. In my mind, I had it as a barbershop duo. So instead of being 4 people, it was actually 2 people, and those 2 people, of course, being Rolf and Kermit. And I feel like Rolf and Kermit have a lot of history together in the Muppets and whatnot. So it'd just be kind of the perfect match. I kind of feel like that was the whole gimmick of the thing was, you know, being a duo instead of a quartet. So, again, I'm kind of sorry that got lost in translation. Having said that, Mew, what you pointed out about, like, having more obscure dog-related characters in the barbershop quartet, that's exactly what Adventure Blue Dude wanted, and we decided to go the other direction. So, chalk that up to me not listening to Adventure Blue Dude, I guess, you know, if it pleases you. Okay, so got about 20 minutes here, guys, so let's just dive right into the meat of this discussion and talk about the strategic game. Yeah. So the Blue Wedding. Oh yes, as I am just ever so subtly dressed for. Here's the thing about this. I feel like it's kind of been the case from day one with this game. And Basket Buddy was really the first power player. He really went on to define that kind of role. You know, of course, he got to the end 3 seasons in a row. He famously got eliminated before the finals. I actually think it was before the semifinals, actually. It was the round before semifinals, which was really surprising because he was, like, pretty much the shoo-in to go into the finals alongside Disney Freak. But that first season, Basket Buddy got eliminated 4th place which was a big deal. I feel like that kind of set the tone. And I'm not saying that every season has to be like this big strategic, like over the top thing. I'm certainly not saying that at all. Like, having said that, I kind of disagree with what Adventure Blue's dude's saying about like no strategy in general, because it's led to a lot of interesting moments. I mean, it led to the Cole thing, led to Disney Son, just a lot of really captivating moments throughout the history of So You Want to Be an Imagineer. And I feel like that's honestly a thing that kind of gives So You Want to Be an Imagineer a bit of an edge. I kind of feel like, while yes, it's true, there are some crowds that might draw away. I feel like having the game be what it is, what with Walt's Vault and all the other crazy shenanigans going on there, having the game be what it is, it kind of defines it as its own thing, whereas other armchair Imagineering competitions, it's just about, as Adventure Blue Dude puts it, just a creative writing competition. You know, just basically writing essays every project. So You Want to Be an Imagineer is different. It kind of has always been a little bit different than that. So like I said, I'm not saying every season I want to see, like, you know, first of all, if I haven't announced it already on the boards, this is going to be most definitely my last time playing this game, at least maybe until like a possible season 20 big Super All-Stars anniversary or something like that. But for the foreseeable future, I have no intention of playing this game anytime soon ever again, because I just feel like I just get myself way too involved. But yeah, it was really interesting how this whole thing came together. I mean, it really unfolded in quite a dramatic fashion. So basically, it started last round when I went up to Monkey, and I was like, well, actually, me and Monkey had been planning this for at least a couple rounds before that. Because I had brought it up to Monkey, I think around the time of perhaps like the round before the merge. I was like, hey, Adventure Blue Dude is going to walk away with this thing. We need to blindside him at some point. The timing has to be right. So this last round, being a double elimination, I felt was the perfect timing to get someone like that out. If you guys remember, back in Season 11, the biggest strategic move was actually when Monkey eliminated Snoopy, of all people, who at that point hadn't even had a vote cast against him, and was the previous season's winner, to go out at Final 7. So Monkey himself did pull a big strategic move at Final 7, so it's not breaking any new precedent. So, however, it really is interesting that Monkey definitely played both sides of the fence. I mean, I did mention to him, you know, I was like, hey, Monkey, you know, I know how this game works. You know, I know how this works. I've been around the block with Survivor ORGs and whatnot. You know, it's like you tell people a plan. And of course, the risk of telling people any plan is that they can go around and stab you in the back. And so that led to a lot of interesting things happening. Monkey, I must say, you know, I did feel bad about nominating you. I really did, but you did come after me first. And, you know, kudos to you for saving Adventure Blue Dude last round. I totally respect that decision. Although I must say, it's kind of sad that we lost Twilight, because Twilight seemed like he really wanted to play this project, and he's really bummed out that he didn't get the chance to. So I was really sad about that. Man, if you would have just eliminated Adventure Blue Dude then, instead of now, because you kind of knew I had an alliance on my hands as it was. So, I don't know. I mean, I know Adventure Blue Dude also really wanted to work on this project, so it's kind of a double-edged sword, but man, I feel like Twilight really could have gotten back into it. I feel like he was really bummed out about getting eliminated, and I'm, so that transitions into the shitty things that Mew did this project. Da 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 da. Yeah, that should be a new segment. Mew, you made quite a few mistakes, I must say. Actually, I'm gonna coin that term right now. Mew-stakes. Mew-stakes. Mew, you have made quite a few Mew-stakes this round in terms of hosting. First of all, my friend, when you have two people on the elimination block, what in the holy hell is the point of having them have to vote against each other? That was just like Why? Why do you do that? In the history of Big Brother, no one on the nomination block has ever had to vote against each other. Never. It just doesn't happen. Their votes cancel each other out by default. And you basically forced Adventure Blue Dude to vote for himself because he didn't want to vote for Monkey. I felt really horrible about that, man. Oh God. When I found out that Adventure Blue Dude really, that was really the main talking point between me and Adventure Blue Dude. So, yeah. Do I regret the game getting to that point? Yeah, but I feel like I was just working within the parameters of what I was given to me. And like I said, Monkey nominated me, and of course, I had forged a pretty deep alliance and friendship with Infinite. That's pretty public knowledge at this point. Me and Infinite are working together, but but Infinite, he happened to have the golden PO MVP, and he used it on me, so I definitely returned the favor and gave him the PO MVP this round, so yeah, props to that. But it was just a really interesting development how everything went down. It was just like, it kind of was like PMgate Mini, except, no, I don't know, the game did kind of stop for about a day or so, I guess. It was just kind of less like out in the open than PMgate was. I don't think this particular strategic play had as negative an impact on the game as either my Season 8 shenanigans or PMgate. So I'm really kind of defending myself here because really all I did was just, Snoopy's been my longtime friend for a long, since well before So You Want to Be an Imagineer when it comes to interacting online. And so it's no surprise that me and him would work together. And Infinite and me just have really gotten along ever since the merge. So it's really no surprise that so really all I did was just kind of form a voting block for a round to take out the biggest threat in the game. So granted, here's the big issue. I kind of feel like every season we have these power players. So it's like, what do you do with it? Like, this situation kind of reminds me of Season 9 where you had Disney Sun, who was just consistently being targeted. Adventure Blue Dude, you actually tried to get Disney Sun out of the game at one point during Season 9. So, it's kind of, you kind of pulled the same thing, but it's funny because you have a person like Disney Sun and he's so obviously strong, and it's like, holy crap, what do you do with that? I kind of feel like we have to come up with something else because I kind of feel like my alternative to doing it was to do the team gameplay instead of the every man for yourself gameplay. That was kind of my fix to that problem. And it worked for a while, but I kind of feel like it's happening again. And I do kind of agree that very strong players like Adventure Blue Dude and like Disney Sun, who come out of the gate is just like, pretty obviously going to make the end game if they don't get taken out strategically. Like, like I said, it's like I kind of feel like we need to have some kind of a remedy for this situation. I don't really think there's any easy answers, but yeah, we'll see. I'll talk more about the future of the game when we get closer to the end. But so, I mean, yeah, it's just a problem because I do feel like players do get a raw end of the stick when it comes to that, especially when they're targeted all around all season. It's interesting because before targeting Adventure Blue Dude was even on the table for me, which to me was like never going to be anywhere before Final 7. I mean, I pretty much had that clear in my mind, like from the get-go. I knew I pretty much wanted to take him out at some point right from the get-go, but I just didn't want to do it before he had the chance to really sink his teeth into the game. It's interesting, though, because pre-merge, we actually had not one but two people in the form of Yensid and Basket Buddy, if not actively, but kind of shadily sort of retroactively target him by not giving him the, whatever it was, the whatever it was, the golden key or whatever that advanced you to the merge. I forget. I'm sorry. The skull talisman. My bad. um. So yeah, but I mean that's pretty much all I have to say about the strategic thing. It's not an easy fix, and like I said, I'm not gonna encourage everything to be like all strategy, all. It's definitely a balance. It's definitely a balance of working together as a team and kind of forming those relationships and forming those bonds that'll take you to the end. It's really interesting. That's kind of like I kind of feel like that's kind of the draw of the game in a way. So I don't really want to say no strategy at all going forward in the game. I really don't want to go that far. Here's what I will say, though. I will say moving forward in the Final Five, definitely no strategy going forward this season. I mean, me, Snoopy, Infinite, we're tight, but I don't want to just go along like, okay, we're going to pagong Monkey and Rare Kitten now. No, I want it to be, at this point, entirely based on merit, entirely based on who deserves it. So, and that's basically has to do, pretty much in terms of activity and the end result of what they produce next project. So, we'll see how it goes, but I definitely am not going to just, pull the whole numbers bullshit and be like, okay, we have 3 and you're 2, so therefore pop, you're gone. No, that's not the way I want to play at all. I wanted to get Adventure Blue Dude out mostly to give everyone else a fair chance at winning this game. That was really my clear motivation throughout the whole thing. So, job well done, I guess. I don't know. So, really, I guess that's all I have to say. I forgot to criticize Mew a bit more. So, Mew... Oh, God. Let's see. Yeah, there's like I said, there was the voting, having the people vote on the final 2, or the 2 nominees vote. You just don't do that. I'm sorry, but that kind of led to some hurt feelings. One other thing, going forward, any sort of big strategic, like, oh my god, like any sort of event like that, any sort of Walt's Vault stuff, for God's sakes, and I say, like, Mew, come on, listen to me. Like, post it in the project thread, not in the brainstorming thread. For God's sakes, it pretty much derailed the whole game for a whole day. Because it was just like every other freaking hour, it was just like, oh my god, another game-changing twist. So, it's cool that you have to announce stuff like that. It's cool you do it in kind of a theatrical way. But, like I said, the place to do that, and I'm speaking as just a game master for like 8+ seasons of this game, the way to do that is through the project thread, not directly interrupting the brainstorming. Please don't interrupt the brainstorming. Please, I implore you, moving forward. Alright, so that's pretty much all there is to it. I feel like everyone going forward has at least some sort of a shot to win, some more than others. It's like who I'm pretty much backing is. I mean, I just want it to be exciting. Like I said, taking out Adventure Blue Dude was mostly just a means to an end to make the end game a bit more exciting and a bit less one-sided. So, criticize me for what you will. I stand by my decision. I also stand by. I don't necessarily think all strategy should be called off in this game all the time. I just really don't agree with that. Just because I feel like it kind of gives So You Want to Be an Imagineer its own sort of flavor. And I feel like, I don't know, but there's definitely a lot of things that we need to work on in between seasons to kind of bridge the gap for communities and whatnot. And we'll talk a lot about that moving forward in the summer and whatnot. So, but suffice to say, Season 13 will definitely be a much different season, although I don't know what the twist I have in mind for 13, especially considering I really want to do it for this particular next season, because it's number 13. It kind of encourages strategic shady play, so I don't know, it's kind of, oh god. I mean, if you, like, I've pitched it before to people, in the know, so I don't want to spoil it, but I don't know. It's kind of there's no easy way around it. Like I said, I totally realize it's an issue, but we'll just have to kind of continue to work towards building it and work towards finding solutions. That's what I like about So You Want to Be an Imagineer is every season kind of has a different sort of mechanic and function and dynamic behind it. And, the rules and elimination process and whatnot aren't exactly the same from season to season while keeping the same premise and formula. So that's pretty much always been my goal with So You Want to Be an Imagineer is to refine, is to kind of just, like Disneyland, So You Want to Be an Imagineer will never be complete as long as there are people left to participate in it. But, So You Want to Be an Imagineer, it's like, I feel like it's just like an ever-going, like, I will constantly keep refining and tweaking it and addressing any problems that come up and any sort of, faults we might have in our system. And so there's definitely a lot of interesting things we can do in our future looking into it. So that's all I have to say, folks. That's really it. Rest in peace, Adventure Blue Dude. It has been a blue wedding for sure. Like I said, moving forward, I just feel like definitely this season at least, we should just go based on really who deserves to be there at the end. Because it's going to be a really tight finals. Like, it's interesting because you basically confirmed that it's a final two by telling us that we have 3 rounds to go until the final project, including semifinals. So by my math, final 5, final 4, semifinals is a final 3, which means we have a final 2. Oh yes. So really interested about that. It's going to be kind of a tight match. So yeah, like I said, moving forward, I really just kind of want to go on, who really proves their worth. So, should be a fun, interesting endgame, and can't wait to see how it all plays out. Alright, guys, that's about it. I'm going to head out, and feel free to comment further on the strategic controversy as because like I said, it's not an easy fix. I know there's issues behind it. So it's definitely something we'll address. So in the meantime, ha 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 ha! I got Adventure Blue Dude. Oh yes, and I'm sporting my blue. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm just kidding. Adventure Blue Dude, you know I love you all. All right, see you guys later.